Thanks so much for watching Afternoon Live. Now, the last time our next guest was here, she promised to come back and finish the conversation about how to talk to your partner when you feel overwhelmed and fed up with the amount of emotional labor you're doing for your family. Whew. All right, back for round two. We welcome back couples therapist Megan Meganson is here. Megan, this is a necessary conversation. I'm glad you're back for round two. For those who maybe missed the last time you were on, explain what emotional labor means.
All right, so emotional labor is the unpaid and invisible work that we do to keep ourselves and our families comfortable and happy.
Amen.
So we split this into two categories. We have what I'm going to call mental burden and emotional burden.
Okay.
So last segment we talked about the emotional burden, which is that idea of, you know, I'm holding all of the to-do lists in mind for my family, and it's stressing me out, getting everyone where they need to be, making sure the groceries are purchased. It's the cognitive component of making sure the family runs smoothly.
Yes,
right.
Okay.
So today we're going to talk more about the emotional burden of the emotional labor equation.
Okay, give it to me.
So this piece is really all about what am I doing to keep everyone around me happy, and what toll is it taking on me emotionally?
A lot?
A lot of toll, right. But because we don't talk about this much in our society, it can be really hard for people to articulate what the emotional labor is that they're doing in their relationships.
Okay.
So the first thing I ask my clients to do is to really sit and reflect on their own personal emotional experiences. And I want you to think and try to identify where in your relationship are you feeling resentful and fed up.
Okay, I'm sitting with it.
Okay, all right. And you don't have to share on live television. That would be okay.
You know I don't mind, but I'm sitting with it and I'm thinking, okay.
Right. So when we sit with that and we really get clear on what we feel resentful about, that is a good indicator. You're starting to tap into the emotional labor that you're doing in your relationship. So let me give some common examples.
Okay.
These are examples that I hear a lot from women who are in my office talking about the stress they feel in their relationships. They talk about feeling emotionally burdened for taking care of their partners. And this is a whole nother segment, but in general, men tend to rely on their wives for friendship, companionship, fun times. They rely on their wives for a lot.
You don't say.
Yes, this is a whole thing.
Who knew?
And women get really tired emotionally of being the primary caretaker, friend, companion, lover for their spouse.
So here's the thing. In the beginning, though, I find that a lot of women, we like that part.
Oh, it makes us feel special.
Yes.
I'm his one and only.
And then
I'm like, get out of the house, go make a friend.
Reality sets in however many, months, years later.
Yeah.
And this is exactly where a lot of people are now.
It's a huge problem. And we'll do a segment next time about men and how hard it is for them to make friends and have connections that they need to be fulfilled. But for now, we'll just work on, like, what do I do with this burden that I carry?
Yes.
How do I talk to my partner about this? The other side of emotional labor that I hear a lot about are partners who feel responsible for maintaining the well-being of the relationship. So they're the ones who are responsible for scheduling the couple's therapy appointments, scheduling date nights, initiating sex, initiating hard conversations. It just feels like, oh, if I don't care for our relationship, it's going to fall apart.
Yes.
Right.
So so then what do we do about this?
Right.
Emotional labor.
So first we get clear on where we're feeling resentful. What is it specifically for me that's not working?
Okay.
The next thing we need to do is to have an open, honest, compassionate conversation with our partner about what we're experiencing. So my disclaimer here is that if you're not able to have hard conversations with your partner without blowing up into conflict, you first need to do some couples therapy work. Right, you have to be able to communicate well before you can have the really nitty-gritty, messy conversation about emotional labor.
Okay, that's a good tip, because a lot of people are like, all right, I'm ready to dive in and tell my partner right now.
Might not go so well for you if you don't have good conflict management skills. I mean, this is like loaded stuff that we're talking about.
Okay, so work on the communication first.
That's right.
And then get into the more difficult, possibly triggering conversations.
That's right. Yeah, you have to be able to have good dialogue without escalating into conflict before you can talk about really tough stuff like this. But once you can, then you just need to schedule time to sit down with your partner and say, hey, look, I'm noticing that I'm feeling really resentful, or I'm feeling kind of fed up with X, Y, and Z in our relationship. It's not working for me. Can we collaborate? Can we work together to figure out how to, rebalance the scales so that we both feel like we're getting what we need from each other?
Can I tell you how that's going to go?
Please.
All right, so tell me what you want me to do.
Yeah.
And then more emotional labor.
It's so true.
I mean, that's the truth. Like, just tell me what you want and I'll do it.
Right.
I don't know what to do. Just tell me and I'll do it. And most of the time it's like, I don't want to have to tell you.
Yeah, I want you to, and that's, so now we're like having a meta conversation, right? We're talking about what we're talking about. And you can say that, okay, here we are. Exhibit A. What I need from you is to listen to my feedback and to come up with 2 ideas of your own. 2 things that you can do for me that you think might help reduce the frustration that I just shared with you. And I'm not going to give you any ideas. So if we want to change this pattern, we have to stop over-functioning for our partners.
Okay, there it is. There it is right there. We're enablers.
We are enablers.
For the very thing that we are tired of seeing.
Yeah. It's a trap for sure. But if you can just start having these conversations in a different way, the tide will shift in a new direction.
We hope.
We hope.
You are very hopeful.
Or go to couples therapy if it's not working. That's what people like me are for.
Because I think that's a good idea. Maybe just get in there, and that's the starting point.
That's right.
Get in with somebody who's a professional.
That's right. Absolutely.
Right. Well, this is good stuff. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
At the very least, shedding light on something that is like the elephant in the room for a lot of people.
It really is.
So it's real, and thank you for helping us out.
You are so welcome.
All right. What we're going to do for you is have more information about Megan and these tips on our website at k2.com. Now, hang on. We are talking the best new healthy products on the shelves when we come back. That's it.